Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Okay. Good morning. Kian, Jania, Darlene, Michiko, Kira. Good morning sa inyo. Okay. Today's lesson will be about relationship among angles formed when parallel lines are cut by a transversal line. But it has connection with our lesson last week, which is about vertical angles and linear pair. So, ibig sabihin, gagamitin pa rin natin siya in this lesson. Kasi nga, kapag math, prerequisite yung previous lesson para sa mga new lessons. Ibig sabihin, yung mga pinag-aaralan natin before o yung mga nauuna natin pinag-aaralan, palagi pa rin nating magagamit or ma-encounter. And sometimes, may ibang term na tawag sa kanila, depende kung saan sila ginagamit. Okay? So, since yung iba ay hindi nakaka-join ng class, ito yung pinili ko kasi masisend ko sa kanila to after. Okay? So, let us start now. However, as we discuss this lesson, I will take a screenshot of this and send it to our group chat para yung mga hindi nakaka-join, makikita pa rin nila kung ano yung pinaggagawa natin sa lessons na ito. Okay? So again, good morning sa dalawa pang humabol. Good morning, Ian and Eka. And also Reza. I observe kapag ang gamit natin ay Google Meet saka Zoom, hindi rin naman kayo nagsasalita. Parang mas gusto nyo yung chinachat, yung answers nyo. Kasi doon, konti lang din yung palaging nagsasalita. Kung sino lang yung palaging nagre-recite, sila lang yan sila. Siguro nahihiya. Kaya, dito na lang tayo doon sa may mga chat box. Okay? So, let us start. Okay. For example, with this illustration. As you observe, there are two lines. And what kind of line? They are horizontal line. Wait. I will use my pointer, laser pointer. There are two parallel lines, and the name of those parallel lines are line M and line N. Again, when you are naming a line, kapag pinapangalanan yung line, you're using small letter or the lowercase letter because there are no points. There are no given points on this line. There are points, but the name of those points are not given on this line. That's why it's only named as line M and line N. Since these two lines are parallel lines, we can write it as M is parallel to N. Okay? This symbol illustrates that the two lines are parallel. So do not forget how to read this one. Line M is parallel to line N. Okay, next. Are there angles formed? You can comment your answers. Meron ba na buong angle? Of course, aside from they are horizontal lines, then it is forming a straight angle. Aside from it, are there angles formed between these two parallel lines? Meron bang nabuong angle sa mga parallel lines na ito? Meron o wala? Yes po. Hello? You can comment your answers. Meron ba na buong angle? Meron o wala? Yes or none? Pag no, hindi. It should be none. N-O-N-E. Di ba pag meron o wala? None. Okay, that's correct. None of it. Now, what will happen if you're going to imagine this, Imagine what will happen if another line passes through those two lines. So, you're going to imagine, isipin nyo, meron daw isang linya na nagpasses through dun sa two lines that are parallel. What do you think may happen? Imagine kung meron pang isang linya na dadaan sa kanilang dalawa. Imagine first. Ano kaya ang pwedeng mangyari? Ano po? Sa palagay nyo? Or you can have a scratch and try to write it there. Or draw it there. That's correct. Magkakaroon or magpo-form ng angles. Okay, say we have this line. The name of the line is line T. So again, from what you have said, it will form angles. Now, can you see those angles? Okay. So again, The name of the line that passes through those two lines is line T. Line T. So, from this is what we call a transversal line. The line that passes through, or the line crossing another line, is called a transversal line. Ibig sabihin, yung linya na dumadaan or nagcro-cross sa iba pang linya, ang tawag doon ay transversal line. Wait, I will also send it to our group chat. Line T is the transversal line. This line is not parallel to line M and line N. Diba, from what we have defined about parallel lines, those are the lines that will never meet. Ibig sabihin, line T is not parallel to them kasi nagkaroon ng intersection point. Ito, dalawa. Ibig sabihin, si line T dumaan sa linya na ito, sa point na ito. Okay? So again, you have to remember that this is called as transversal line. Next one. How many angles were formed? Try to count. How many angles were formed? Ilan ang nabuong mga angle? Ilan po lahat? Try to count. I am waiting for the answers. How many angles were formed when a transversal passes through line M and line N? Okay, someone answered 8. How about the others? 8. How about the others? What's your answer? How many angles were formed when this line passes through these two lines? Okay? So, they're already typing, commenting their answer. And then later on, we'll check for it. Again, we are here to learn. So, you shouldn't be afraid of commenting your answer because nothing is wrong with that. Kasi pinag-aaralan pa lang naman natin ito eh. Okay. Try to count. Now, let us try to count how many angles were formed. So, 8 angles were formed. And where are those? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, as you observe, when a transversal passes through line M and N, angles were formed. And how many angles... And how many angles were formed? There were 8 angles formed. Wait! I am looking for the charger. And as you observe, I already named those angles that were formed. Let us name it as angle 1, angle 2, angle 3, angle 4, angle 5, 6, 7, and 8. So, these are those angles. Now, today, we're going to study the relationship of every angle to one another. So, as you observe, it has something to do with our lesson last week, which is about vertical angles and the linear pair. And you just have to use what you have learned from that lesson. So next, let us study what interior angles are all about. Ano po yung pagkakaunawa nyo sa word na interior? Ano ang ibig sabihin ng interior? Ano yun sa Tagalog? Yung interior. Di ba ginagamit to sa, halimbawa, interior design. Okay, sa loob. If you are asked, what are those interior angles? Take a guess. Hulaan nyo po. Hulaan nyo muna. Alin kaya dyan yung mga interior angles sa palagay ninyo? So again, we are here to study. So, okay lang kung ano po muna yung mga magiging sagot nyo. What do you think are those angles that are interior angles? Okay, just take a guess. 4, angle 4, angle 3, angle 5, angle 6. Okay, those are your guess. Ayun yung mga hula nyo. Now, let's try to find out if your idea about interior angles are correct. Let's read its definition. These are the four angles. So there are 4 angles formed between the lines M and N. So from the definition, your answers are all correct. Because from the definition, it is, or these are, the angles formed between, sa gitna, ng line M at line N. Ito yung line M, ito yung line N. Ano yung mga angle na nabuo sa gitna? So we have angle 4, 5, and 6. 3, 4, 5, and 6. So your answers are all correct. Angle 3, angle 4, angle 5, and angle 6. Remember, these are called interior angles. Okay? How about with this one? Alternate interior angles. Ano po yung pagkakauna? Uy, tama lahat ng sagot ninyo. Ano naman po yung pagkakaunawa ninyo sa alternate? Sa word na alternate. Comment below, ano yung pagkakaunawa sa word na alternate? O kaya naman, ano yung Tagalog ng alternate? Any idea? Okay. Kabaliktaran, opposite. So those are your idea about the meaning of alternate. Now, let's try to include alternate interior angles. So, we'll use that. It's very important that you know the definition or what is meant by the given word. As we all know, we're using English language in teaching mathematics. Kaya, mahalaga na nauunawaan natin yung word na yun and ano yung synonym niya. Diba? Sa English, kapag hindi mo nauunawaan yung isang word, hahanap ka pa ng synonym niya para mas maunawaan mo. So, let us try to define what is alternate interior angles all about. So, again, these are two interior angles that lie on opposite sides of transversal. Means to say that andito pa rin siya sa loob, sa interior. But now, it lies on the opposite side. How many sides we have? We only have two sides. Yung kaliwa at saka yung nasa kanan. So, if we are asked about the alternate interior angles, ibig sabihin, mga angle na magka-opposite. Yung isa nasa kaliwa, yung isa nasa kanan. For example, angle 3 and angle 5. What do you think is the other pair? What do you think is the other pair? Alin pa yung isang pair ng alternate interior angles? Okay, that's correct. Angle 4 and angle 6. Again, do not forget na ang tawag sa kanila ay alternate interior angles. So, how many pairs? Again, how many pairs of alternate interior angles? We only have how many pairs? That's correct. We only have 2 pairs. Ay, good morning sa bagong Sally. Okay, we have 2 pairs of alternate interior angles. Now, try to identify the exterior angles. So, kanina, you identify the interior angles. These are the angles between line M and line N. Ano naman kaya yung mga exterior angles? Try to comment your idea about it. What are those exterior angles? Okay, I am waiting for the answers. So, I observe that you have similar answers. Now, let us check if your answers are correct. From the definition, these are the 4 angles formed that lie outside the lines of M and N. So, what are those angles outside? A while ago, when we are talking about interior, it lies between. Now, since it's outside, what are those? We have angle 1, angle 2, angle 7, and angle 8. So, you're all correct. Your idea about exterior angles are correct. Tama yung mga sagot ninyo po. So, sa palagay nyo, ano yung second? Ano yung sunod kong itatanong? So, we already studied about interior angles. And then, tinanong ko yung alternate interior angles. So, ano kaya ang sunod nating hahanapin aside from exterior angles? Ano po kaya? That's correct. Alternate exterior angles. Now, try to find out what are those pairs of alternate exterior angles. Try nyo to identify. A while ago, there are two pairs of alternate interior. How about with alternate exterior? How many pairs and what are those pairs? Try to identify. Okay. I'm seeing your answers. Now let's try to find out if your answers are correct. From the definition, these are the two exterior angles that lie on opposite sides of a transversal. So let's find out. So we have angle 1 and angle 7. So you're correct. And the other one will be angle 2 and angle 8. So it's very easy to identify, right? It's very easy because you already know the difference between interior and exterior. You just have to remember that they are always on opposite sides. And kapag interior, yung nasa loob. Kapag exterior, yung nasa labas. So, very good kayong lahat dyan because all your answers are correct. How about with this one? Corresponding angles. So, from the definition, these are the two angles, one interior and the other is on the exterior. And they are on the same side of the transversal. I'll give the first example. Angle 1 and angle 5. So this is the first pair of corresponding angle. Ano pa kaya yung mga iba pang pairs? Can you give one? Try to find out what are the other corresponding angles. 2 and 6, 3 and 7, 4 and 8. Wow! The first 3 students who answered differently. And that's very good to see that all of you are really trying out what are those corresponding angles are all about. Okay, let's try to find out if your answers are correct. So the pairs are 1 and 5, 2 and 6, 4 and 8. And then, we have 3 and 7. So, how many pairs? How many pairs? We have how many pairs of corresponding angles? That's correct. We have 4 pairs. Okay ha, do not forget, kapag alternate interior, 2 pairs. Alternate exterior, 2 pairs also. And kapag corresponding angles, we have 4 pairs. Okay, very good. Now, with this one, let's try to find out if you have really learned what we have discussed. Identify the pairs of alternate interior angles. Ano na nga po uli yung pairs ng alternate interior angles? Let's just try to check. Because after this, we will now measure the angles. Four and 6, 3 and 5. That is correct. So again, the pairs are 4 and 6, 3 and 5. So, do not forget that there are 2 pairs. How about with this one? Identify the pairs of alternate exterior. Exterior. How many pairs and what are those? Doon na tayo sa exterior. Nalilate po ata. So, again hindi pwedeng mabaliktad yung pair. Kasi nga, pair sila. So, we have 1 and 7, 2 and 8. And for the last one, identify the pairs of corresponding angles. What are those? So, there are 4 pairs. Okay? 1 and 5, 2 and 6, 4 and 8, 3 and 7. Or 1 and 5, 2 and 6, 3 and 7, 4 and 8. So, these are the pairs of corresponding angles. Now, let's try to measure the angles using protractor. So, let's take an exit so that we can use the protractor. Ay. Yan. 1 What is the measure of angle 1? Try to comment. The measure of angle 1. Again, the measure of angle 1. Angle 1 is an acute angle. So, since it is acute, the measurement of it must be less than 90 degrees. And when you are measuring, you should always start from 0. Okay? So, the answer is 70 degrees. Wait, I'll type your the answer. 70. It's not typing, Wait. Ayaw nyo magpa-type. Wait lang. 70. Bakit kaya? Ayan. Ayaw. Wait, I will just insert a text box. 70. 70. It's not typing. Okay, how about the measure of angle 2? I'll just fix this first. Kasi ayaw niyang mag-text box. Yun, 70. The color of it is white. Kaya pala hindi lumalabas. Okay, angle 1 measures 70 degrees. How about the measure of angle 2? Ayan. So, angle 2 is an obtuse angle. Therefore, the measure of it is greater than 90. So, that's correct. The measurement of it is 110 degrees. Now, how about the measurement of angle 3? What is the measure of angle 3? Ayan, nasa ibaba ito. Angle 3. Why it's moving? Yan. Okay, that is correct. The measurement of it is 70 degrees. Yan. How about the measure of angle 4? Ay, it's hard to type. That's correct. The measurement is 110. Wait. Yan. It's moving. I'm having hard time. Kasi, ayaw nyo magpa-type. Gumagalaw siya. Okay. So, let's try to remove now the protractor. And, ayusin natin yung measurement. So, the measure of angle 1 is 70 degrees. The measure of angle 10 is 110 degrees. The measure of angle 3 is 70. And the measure of angle 4 is 110. Now, try to relate it to what we have discussed last week. Try to relate it. What is the sum of angle 1 and angle 2? What is the sum? What is the total of their measurements? $180. How about 2 and 3? 180 also. How about 3 and 4? 180 also. And how about 1 and 4? 180 also. And from our lesson last week, these are called what? These are called what? If the total or if the sum of the measure of the adjacent angles is 180, then they are called what? This is our lesson last week. Ano ang tawag sa kanila? Dahil ang total ay 180, ano ang tawag sa kanila? That's correct. Yan. They are linear pair. And since they are linear pair, then they are supplementary. So again, they are linear pairs. And if they are linear pairs, then they are supplementary, which means to say that the total is 180 degrees. Sino yung tuning? May naaligaw. Next, what do you observe with angle 2 and angle 4? What do you observe with angle 2 and angle 4? What can you say with their measurements? Okay. Angle 2 and angle 4, they are both 110. Angle 1 and angle 3, they're both 70. Because they are what? Correct. Because they are vertical angles. And since they are vertical angles, then they are congruent. That's correct. They have the same measure. Now, What do you think will be the measure of angle 5, 6, 7, and 8? Ilagay nyo, angle 5, ano yung measurement? Angle 6, ano yung measurement? Pati yung angle 7, saka yung angle 8. Try to take a guess. From what you have learned, what do you think will be the measure of these angles? 5, 6, 7, and 8. Try to comment. Angle 5, 70. Okay, I'll write your answers. Wait, I'll use the pen or the marker. So, angle 5 measures 70. Angle 8 measures, angle 6 first. 110. So, let's write degrees. Angle 7 is also 70 degrees and angle 8 is 110 degrees. Alright. So wait. Let's indicate the measurement. So ano na nga? We have 70, 110, 70, 110, 70, 110, 70, and 110. From the given question, what can you say with the measures of alternate interior angles? So the pairs of alternate interior angles are angle 3 and angle 4. Angle 3 and angle 4. Right? Hilarious. Angle 3 and angle 5. What can you say with the measure of angle 3 and angle 5? Because these are interior angles. They are what? Okay, they have the same measure, therefore they are congruent. So we can say angle 3 is congruent to angle 5. Okay, now what is the next pair of interior angles? What is the next pair? Four and 6. Angle 4 and angle 6. And what can you say? They are what? They are what can you say with their measurements? They are also congruent. Again, you will not add. You'll just take a look with their measurements. So we can say that angle 4 is congruent to angle 6. So you have to remember that from here, alternate interior angles are congruent. Okay? How about with this? Ay. The alternate exterior angles. Ay, nabura pala. Wait, let's go back to this. What can you say with the measure of alternate exterior angles? So let's just write it here. Okay, I'll make a copy of it. What can you say with the measure of the exterior? Ilalagay natin. Burain ko lang to. Make it white. Yan. And then let's change it to exterior. Okay. Your answers are all correct. The measures of it are congruent too. So let's write. Pen. I'll write everything in here sa isang page. So, the alternate interior angles. We have angle 3 that is congruent to angle 5. Angle 4 that is congruent to angle 6. How about the exterior? We have angle 1 that is congruent to angle 7. And we also have angle 2 that is congruent to angle 8. How about the corresponding? What can you say with the corresponding angles? They are what? What can you say with them? Okay, they are also congruent. So what are those pairs? Angle 1 is congruent to angle 7. They are both 70. Angle 2 is congruent to angle 6. They are both 110. Angle 3 wait. Mali ito. Angle 1 and angle 5. Angle 2 and angle 6. And then we have angle 3 and angle 7. And we have angle 4, which is congruent to angle 8. So this is what the relationship among angles form when parallel lines is cut by a transversal. So as you observe, these relations makes the angle congruent. So kapag alternate interior angles, the measurement are congruent. Same with if they are alternate exterior, and same with if they are corresponding angles. And for the last one, look at the adjacent angles. The sum is always 180. Angle 1 plus angle 2, 180. Angle 2 plus angle 3, 180 pa rin. 3 and 4, 180 pa rin. Same with kapag nasa same side. Halimbawa ito, angle 4 plus angle 5. The total is 180. Angle 3 plus angle 6, the total is still 180. So this sums up our lesson. Okay. Corresponding angles are congruent. Alternate interior angles are also congruent. Alternate exterior angles are congruent, and then interior angles on the same side of the transversal are supplementary. And interior angles on the same side of transversal are also supplementary. And this is what our lessons are all about. And that's it. I hope you learned. So, do you have something to say? You have any further questions to clarify? If none, then thank you for attending our lesson. Next subject nyo na. Thank you!